Conditions have eased for fire crews in New South Wales, but are volatile and the danger remains. Early estimates reveal 50 homes have been damaged or destroyed in the past 24 hours alone, bringing the total number of homes lost in the last week of fires to about 200. 21 people have been injured yesterday, 13 of them firefighters. No injuries, thankfully, were life-threatening. No one is unaccounted for at this point. 83 fires are burning around the state as we speak. 50 of those are uncontained. 17 are at the watch and act level. 950 firefighters are on the front line. Still, temperatures have dropped, but a statewide fire ban is still in place. Schools in the high-risk areas are still closed. Assessment teams are heading out to affect the areas when it's deemed safe to do so, confirming the level of loss. But at this point, the estimates are that 1.1 million hectares of land has been burning across the state. The RFS is warning the risk of more fire is real and the worst of the season is still ahead. The Commissioner says consequences could have been enormous if the extensive planning and coordination was not delivered yesterday.
I would rather be in the situation where we say, thank goodness we got through yesterday, rather than be standing here today saying, if only we backed ourselves on the dire forecast that was coming and not be counting hundreds or thousands of homes and dozens of bodies. That's the reality of it. I think the biggest thing we learn is our confidence in trusting experts, working with the Bureau of Meteorology, understanding and firming up their forecast. We cannot ignore conditions like catastrophic.
Let's go to one of the areas which was of great concern yesterday. Sydney's North Shore. Christy Coulter joins us. The residents waking up to some fire retardant, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
That's right, Kieran. The suburb of Turramurra is a pretty shade of bright pink this morning. That's because homes here were doused with fire retardant when a blaze began in nearby bushland at around 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Firefighters were quick to respond, one even fracturing his arms in the commotion, but everything was saved. No homes were lost, no homes were destroyed, nothing was damaged. Everyone here very lucky indeed. The aeroplane bomber happened to be heading up north towards those fires around the Newcastle area and the mid-north coast, but did a quick U-turn to douse this area with fire retardant. And as the council members cleaned that up this morning, the police are now investigating whether that fire was deliberately lit. Fire Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons getting quite emotional last night when he spoke to Paul Murray about the prospect that some of these dramatic fires across the state may have been deliberately lit.
Lighting fires deliberately, lighting fires maliciously with the intent to impact your community, to endanger firefighters, to endanger communities. It's a heinous crime. We've got the toughest penalties available. We've got the best police, the best investigators, and if you are going to do that, then you deserve to have the full weight of the law thrown against you, and you deserve to spend time in jail. How dare you threaten our men and women who are out there desperately trying to save their community and the communities of strangers, and how dare you put people in harm's way unnecessarily.
It's much cooler today with that southerly coming up late yesterday afternoon, but the fire is still a real risk right across Greater Sydney. The very high fire danger rating for today, and of course that total fire ban in place here as well, Kieran.
Christy, thanks. Residents in the Hunter Valley town of North Rothbury are breathing a sigh of relief as well. Brave firefighters saved their town from an aggressive, fast-moving bushfire.
Of my own water, I've done about 21,000 litres out of my meter at home, and then it started off just myself. Then I put a call out to the community to donate their taps, so I didn't get a big water bill. I was then using other people's water taps around the community of Wingham and everything. We've got about 230 residences' addresses that are willing to donate water to any farmers that need water for livestock and stuff.
Let's go live to Peter Stefanovic in the village of Killabark near Taree. Pete, the extent revealed as assessment teams are able to get in there with calmer conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. They're seizing on the time that is available to them while conditions have eased, as you mentioned there, Kieran. Just over to my right, you'll see that a huge tree had fallen off across a road, and that blocked traffic for a little while. So the firefighters and just locals have got in there and fixed all of that up, but I just want to show you. This was yesterday afternoon, right? So all of this land here, it's blackened earth. That's because a fire raced up here at about 5:30 yesterday afternoon and got very close to Carol Saul's home. You can see the blackened earth and the home there, which is still kind of smouldering over to my left there. You can see a little bit how close it got. Just come here for a second if you wouldn't mind, Carol. Take me back to yesterday. How was it?
Horrendous, just absolutely horrendous. We didn't know which way to run. Our firefighters just kept at it and at it. When I thought it was time to evacuate everybody, they just charged into the fire and kept going. They were amazing.
And just to describe the intensity of those fires, I mean, how frightening that must have been for you.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. The radiant heat coming up some of the hills was just, you couldn't stand it. You just couldn't stand it.
So many heroes out there at the moment. You were just telling me about your own husband, who's one of them. Can you tell me about what he did?
Yeah.
What he did yesterday?
My husband stayed the night with an elderly man who refused to leave, and he saved his house and saved the old man, just all on his own, just up on the mountain. Yeah, he was just heroic, and he's so exhausted he's ready to fall down.
And you were telling me he did try and have a break a short time ago, and then the tree fell down and he had to get back up again. So he can't take a break at all around here.
No, I think it's been about 5 days now that they've just gone non-stop. They're dead on their feet.
How concerned are you, this being not even the start of the bushfire season yet, and you've got all these problems already?
Luckily, it can only burn once around your house, but there's going to be fires and fires and fires this summer. It's going to be endless.
Do you feel like you kind of dodged a bullet yesterday?
Definitely.
There have been homes that have been lost,
yes.
and you have luckily been able to save yours.
Yeah, the fireys came at the right moment and saved us. Yeah, yeah.
What did you have to do yesterday? Because you don't really know until you're in the situation of having to save your own home. No. So I think most people wouldn't even know what to do. What's the first thing that you do?
It's very sobering walking around your home and picking up enough things to put into your car that is your whole life. And I was just unpacking it, everything that's dear to you, and how do you decide? It's horrible. And then you go outside and you put buckets all around your house and you get your hoses ready and you just pray. If it's a slow fire, you've got a chance, but a firestorm like we had, you can't even stand in front of it. You're just crazy.
Can you talk to me? I haven't really seen one of those before. So like how people have talked about how fast it moves and the noise it makes as well. Was that all the same for you?
Definitely, yeah. When that hot westerly hits and it's just blowing like crazy, the fire just goes with it, and yeah, there's just nothing you can do. And
then the cool change last night, did that sort of shift it in another direction?
It was a little bit too late for us. I think it kicked in here at about midnight. Yeah, so yeah, it was too late.
But there have been properties that have been lost around here too,
yes,
right? So you're
yes.
one of the lucky ones. How many
yes.
have been lost around here?
I think it's 5, possibly 6 homes have gone. Yes, yeah, it's terrible. My best friend up on the mountain has lost her home. Yeah.
Have you spoken to her at all?
Yeah.
How's she doing?
I sent her a photo of the steel frame and the roof, and she can't come out. She can't look at it. Yeah, she's devastated, as you can imagine.
Yeah. Is everybody kind of pitching together though?
Oh, it's Killarbark, and I keep telling everyone this is Killarbark. It's the most wonderful community, and you wouldn't get a better place to live. Everyone's fabulous here. They're great, and what some people did for other people in the last few days has been just amazing. Yeah.
All right, Carol, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being so honest and allowing yourself to speak to us today. Really appreciate that. We're glad you're well, and we're glad your property as well.
I'm glad. I can't tell you enough about our fireys. And that's all the fireys in the whole district. The whole place has gone up, and they're just incredible. They really are.
Everybody agrees with you too.
Yeah.
Carol, appreciate that. Thank you so much. So there you go, Kieran. Yeah, just one example of a home that was saved yesterday, but others haven't been as lucky. But you just heard, the confusion and the panic that can set in, especially when you've got a fire that races up a hill and starts getting towards your home. You can never imagine what it is like until it actually happens to you.
Yeah, indeed, Pete. And as you reflect and look behind you there, it looks so idyllic. Apart from that area where the fires come through, you could just imagine it. Normally, Killarbark, it looks like the most stunning part of the world, but now really hellish conditions visited upon Carol and her neighbours. They can see the trauma that she's been through, let alone what that other member of the community, or she believes 4 or 5 of them that have lost their homes. But such a leafy, beautiful part of the world, not far from the coast. And yesterday it was just just abysmal.
Yeah, we aren't too far away from Taree. We're about 30 kilometres on the outskirts of Taree. We're about northwest of Taree at the moment, and this is just one hill, Kieran. So on the drive here, a great deal of it is blackened earth, and we're talking about farmland. And, you know, what ordinarily would have been quite beautiful, like you said, rolling green hills. Well, they've all turned to black at the moment, and throughout it all are these homes. Most of them have been saved. There was a school that we drove past on the way here too. That's been saved. So it's going to take, when you look at it too, Kieran, it's going to take a long time for this to repair, and that's right across the region. We're talking years. We might even be talking decades before this returns back to its normal health.